the direct benefits of broadband are so great, we do need a strategy. And I think some of the elements of it, if you're a CEO of a company, how do you implement a goal? You set benchmarks, you come up with deployment timetables, and you have measurable thresholds to gauge your progress. That's what a strategy is. A strategy isn't sort of after you're already somewhere, you kind of look back and say, what do we do and how do we explain that as a strategy? You going forward say, here's the plan, here's the goals, here's the benchmarks. Now, we got to set ambitious goals. Right now, the FCC's goal is 200 kilobits a second. Hopefully later this month, Mr. Warner alluded, we're going to change that. We're going to update that. You need to start with better data. We need maps to know where broadband is and isn't. We need public-private partnerships to suss out where there's a problem and where we can give solutions. I certainly agree maybe deregulation is a part of it. I voted for major deregulation. That's one aspect of it, but there's a lot more at stake. I mean, you need to promote competition. You can't just say competition is going to take care of it when we have a real lack of competition. We need policies in place that actually allow businesses to have alternatives. One of the most important elements of a strategy is universal service. Right now, universal service supports voice service, which is increasingly becoming just one application over broadband pipes. We got to take the $6 billion a year we spend on universal service and channel that toward broadband. That's an advanced service that was envisioned for. The other big element, I think, of broadband strategy is wireless options, spectrum. Because we have this sort of dead duopoly that isn't really competing enough, the best way to get a third channel into the home is over wireless, not a third pipe, but a third channel. And we need to put in place policies that will do that. We're just selling off right now 700 megahertz television station spectrum. And unfortunately, we didn't put in place the rules that would assure that we would get a competitor. I don't know yet whether we will or won't, but we certainly need to make spectrum available to folks that are going to provide a third channel into the home. And there's a lot more that Congress needs to do as well. It's outside the scope of the FCC. They can require the collection of more data. They can expand the base for universal service so they can adequately fund this. They can provide tax credits and depreciation rules that will enhance broadband deployment. They have a rural utility service program in place that helped design back when I was on the Hill in 2002 that they need to fund so that we can provide loans and grants for underserved rural areas. We need to make sure that broadband is in public housing units that we're building out. There need to be rules in place so that we're not building public housing units that are instantly going to relegate folks that are in public housing to the slow lane in broadband. We need to fund basic science R&D, and we need to ensure that our children are educated in math and science. This is part of a national broadband strategy. And of course, you can have all the broadband in the home you want. If a kid doesn't have a computer, it's not going to help them at all. And if our low-income children don't have computers, and they have to go to the school or library to use them while their higher-income classmates have it right there in the home, that's an unfair disadvantage to that kid. It doesn't put them on a level playing field. Other countries like Korea, you can go to the local library and rent a computer for $1 or $2 a month. Why don't we make sure that all of our kids have computers in the home so they can do their work right there? These are some of the elements of a broadband strategy, and there are more I could talk about, but the elements are known. And we can put this kind of a practice in place. What we need is the leadership to get it done. It's not a matter of a lot of regulation or a lot of money, but it's a matter of leadership. It's a matter of putting in place the right policies, channeling resources that we have now. And one thing maybe I would add to Tim Wu's suggestion of a czar is to have a national broadband summit where we can talk about these different policies and how they fit together and put the attention on this issue at a national level that it deserves.